be signing me out of YouTube now. I don't get it.
Well, I believe we should be good. Not seeing that we're... Oh, yep. Just received
Got the
a notice.
notification.
Alright, good evening. Welcome, anybody who may be tuning in tonight for round 18 of 25 in the 2023 ARC Formula 1 season. We're at Singapore tonight, of course. Only a minute or two into the qualifying session. Sorry for the delay. Had a slight technical difficulty, but all good to go now.
Let's get my track map. Everything good to go.
Yes, let's get some info on screen. Alright, good to go. Hello and welcome. We're here in Singapore. Looks like the first laps of this qualifying session will be laid down by Andrew Davis and Jonathan Juergensmeyer. First one's out on the track, as usual. Jurg is usually one of the first, I'd say, 4 cars, if not the first, on many occasions. Out on track in qualifying so far this season. Just comfortable setting the pace, I guess, and I commend him for that.
Yep, and for those that aren't aware, a bit of a different look this year around Singapore. We've eliminated 3 corners, so only 19 corners. We've taken a huge chunk out of Sector 3 here. About a 10-second advantage without that. There's a bit to park that went underneath the grandstand, so to speak. You'll see here on this part here. We used to come down this DRS straight. You punch it deep, take a right-hander here. And then you used to just cut it back in, and you would be on a separate part going underneath, but now it's just... Am I seeing this right?
Had a bit of a twitch there. You saw that also?
Yeah, alright. I thought
maybe some lobby
I thought for
issues.
sure he was
yeah,
going to the old track, yeah.
He's kind of rubber banding a bit. We may be having some network issues in the lobby at the moment. Regardless, though, first laps coming onto the board are Jonathan Juergensmeyer with the 131, but quickly getting beaten out by Andrew Davis with the 130.2. Strange that we're seeing network issues the way that we are. I mean, haven't seen this thus far in the season, just slight stutters. If you're catching this on stream or anything, it is not just you or whatever. We are definitely picking it up as well. Cars kind of seeming to move sideways across the track at certain points also, just for a split second, but some slight issues. Regardless, though, just building off the point that Billy said moments ago.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Lost Matthew Stotts.
Oh no.
Go ahead and try and get it back in.
Building on Billy's point about the reconfiguration of the track here in Singapore, though, it should be noted that when something like this happens, of course, I mean, all lap data and all records and whatnot are just kind of wiped. Now that we're racing on the new configuration, there are no lap records, there are no race times really to go by for drivers to base their strategies off of. And also it means that the fastest lap here qualifying may very well be the fastest lap of Singapore.
Yeah, 10 seconds is a huge chunk of time, Alex. It's almost equivalent to just straight lining Maggots and Beckett's. I don't even think you would still gain 10 seconds that way. It's just, it's an insurmountable amount of time.
Was saying that the fastest lap here in qualifying is likely to be the lap record for Singapore in all of ARC. I mean, given that we are on the new layout, so the record holder will hold it for at least a year. We will see next time we are here next season for 2024 ARC Formula 1. But it's Boriyoshi quietly making his way up the board with the 129.2. Good lap from him.
Riding on board with Jamie Knock as he starts one.
Yeah. You want to take us through with Jamie Knock?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This one you want to, heading into this corner here,
it's
you want to...
5.
Ooh, a lot
of
twitch. Yeah, I was trying to pull up the track map as I was looking and almost saw him clap the wall.
That's right. We can watch
heavy braking zone. Yeah, heavy braking zone into 7. Right up, but then you want to get down as low as you can. You don't want to go to first, though, because the wheel spin, there's no traction in this corner here. Take it deep here, bring it right out against the wall, flat out. And this one, you want to look for this orange cone here and try and cut the corner as much as you can without obviously cutting it. And this technical part, so easy. In games past, you used to be able to take so much advantage of the curves. In the years since, it's just kind of unsettles the car. And again, DRS zone over the bridge that you don't really notice while on track.
Yeah.
But we see a purple sector, so here we go. There's a new part of the track here, super fast. Not a DRS zone, because then there would be 3, but a little lap traffic moves out of the way. This is looking like it's gonna be a good lap. Not sure if it's contending for pole. It might be. He's gonna put his hat in the ring, that's for sure.
Yeah, coming through now. Over the line, and it's only good for P5. May have had a bit of trouble there at the end of the lap. Quickly pulling over.
It's a bit scruffy. Traction is very hard to find here. This track looks just...
Ooh.
Yo, as we see... Yeah.
Rides the curb for a bit there, pays the price for it. But yeah, track's still very green, it seems. Yet to rubber in for not only this session, but for the rest of the weekend as well. But it must be said, I mean, I just want to point out the fact that Singapore is such a great track.
My favorite track, Alex.
However you may feel about the layout, I think that this track is just so cool. I mean, just purely aesthetically, it's like cyberpunk racing, you know? Like, you're racing through the city. You've got the bridge, you've got the arches that you race under between 12 and 13. Like, it's just such a cool track, like, with the views and the vibes and whatnot. And as the sport progresses... Yeah, the hotel right there. Oh, big twitches here from Jamie Knopp. Cuts the corner just to kind of save himself some trouble. Under the arches that I was just talking about through there, but... I mean, just such a beautiful track, and as the sport progresses and we start getting closer to whatever, like, speed racer, futuristic vibe that people may be seeing this sport moving in the direction of, I think Singapore is the one track where you're going to see, like, the absolute cool factor of F1 ramp up the highest you'll see anywhere.
It's first F1 race under the lights, and you got to say, when you're watching this, like we saw at FP1 today, seeing it in the daytime kind of does it such a disservice. It's just, and it's crazy too, because when it's lit up at night, you can, as Martin Brundle said earlier today, you can see more at night here than you can in a clear sunny day in Silverstone. This place is beautifully lit, and again, aesthetically pleasing, as you said, with all the lights, the underpasses, the marina.
Just a great like such a treat that we get to come here. I mean, and of course, there was trouble through COVID with being able to come here and whatnot, but the fact that we're back is just such a delight to many fans, of course. It's just such a great spectator race specifically. It is the worst race on the calendar. Oh, yeah. Looks like we have some yellows out. Oh, rather unfortunate. Limping his way back if he can. Oh, no. Just finishing my point real quick, though. This is, I think, one of the best races on the calendar for viewers, for people to watch, but it's by far the worst race on the calendar if you're an actual driver participating in it.
An average of 3 kilos lost per driver here. The humidity and the heat of Singapore just beats down on the drivers.
Caution still out through Sector 2, kind of flickering back and forth now. Maybe having some trouble somewhere. Sector 3, it looks like.
Getting out of the way. I believe that's still AJ working his way back, yeah.
It is, yeah. Making space there for the Ferrari of, was that JN Cisco, I believe, yeah.
Oh, is this a new driver on the grid that I'm unaware of?
It is. Teammate of Matty Daly for the night will be JN Cisco. Possibly, I think, reserve driver for the Ferrari team. Currently sitting on the 131.8. Holding down 10th, though, will be looking to improve as the track rubbers in, of course. And Boriyoshi's off and running. He's on his next hot lap. And he's sitting comfortably on provisional pole with that
Yep.
129.2.
I think you will notice there is no Mikey DeYoung and no Liam Carrig tonight. So
That's right.
wide open. But as of late, we have seen Al Hasmi. Whoa, Boryoshi.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, he's going to bail out of that lap, and rightfully
Yep.
so. But as I was saying, this race is wide open. But Al Hasmi has really picked up the pace in the last couple weeks. Back to back, I believe it was. Winning at Spa, winning at Monza. Have I heard that before?
Let's pull it up. Al Hasmi was
Good old
winner
results.
at Australia,
Mm.
as well as the Netherlands and Monza.
Yes, that's what it was.
So yeah,
Charles Leclerc's quote stuck
sitting
in my head.
comfortably in P2 of the driver's standings of the championship, of course, with teammate Mikey DeYoung, as mentioned, leading the championship rather comfortably, is off tonight. Another driver mentioned is Liam Carrig, currently P5 in the championship, so points on the board and places to be made up for sure.
Well, Clay may have something to say about that. He's on an absolute stonking lap right now. I don't know if it's a technical glitch with the game, but every time I feel like every driver I ride on board with is just purple through sector 2. Might be a Cody's thing. Oh no, and Matthew Stoss, just the technical difficulties continue.
Yeah, may have had some network troubles. I mean, he was not able to join the lobby at first. Had some trouble there. So, maybe something going on with him. Rather unfortunate.
I'll just keep plugging invites away.
Clay Smith laying down a decent lap here. Ooh, comes real close to the wall there. And bails out. Yeah, he knows that it may have compromised
Here comes Al Hasmi. Is it
lap.
enough? Al Hasmi crosses the line. P2.
Off by 6/100ths of a second from pole position.
Much like Monaco, you do want to qualify well here because turn 1, 2, and 3 can be a bit of a cluster fest.
Right. Al Hasmi, I mean, should be noted that he is also in a low gas situation at the moment. He is very low on fuel, but needs to kind of bring it around all the way back to the pits pretty quickly if he wants to be out possibly for another lap to challenge for pole position.
Yeah,
However,
I don't think he's going to be able to get another lap in. He's going to be cutting it.
Yeah, he's just
going to be too close.
Taking it rather gingerly all the way back around. He sees that pulsing red fuel indicator the same way we do, so I'm sure he's very aware of his situation. Boryoshi may be feeling a bit more confident because of it, but he's on his way back out for his final lap of the session.
As well as teammate Luke Allen. Who's that about to leave the garage? Oh, that's Dots, actually.
Alright, so we will watch as provisional pole sitter Boryoshi comes through the final few corners and across the line to start his last hot lap of this qualifying session. Over the line and he's off.
Very smooth. So important to flow around the circuit.
DRS wide open as he comes through 6. And he's
taking advantage of all of the track.
Currently half a tenth up on his best time. However, may be able to make it up in the third sector where he struggled originally.
So smooth. Remember I said that, gotta cut that corner. You gotta be brave.
Yeah, and I mean, just with the time remaining, ooh, bit of a twitch there for Boryoshi. It looks like Al Hasmi will not be able to make it back out and all the way back around for another lap, so he's going to have to sit on his 129.28 and hope for the best there. Clay Smith on his way back out for a lap to challenge for pole potentially. Early
Boyoshi's going to have to come up with a miracle here. He's been down on his time by over a tenth.
as he comes through the final corner and over the line. And he does manage to improve, if only just slightly. Currently sitting on the 129.21. Yes, 18/100ths of a second. I mean, time he probably could have made up even more so through the first sector on that lap, but comfortably in
Andrew
P1
Davis
at the
goes
moment.
quicker by 2.5 tenths.
Up
Next
into
across the line
P6
will
for
be
the Alpine.
Yep,
Is
Tyler
that McLaren
Crabtree
coming?
coming through.
Yep.
Not going to be for pole, but it'll be a good lap nonetheless.
Jumps a decent margin of positions up into P9
Yep.
for Tyler Crabtree.
1.7 seconds up on his best, so definitely a personal for him. Here comes Gabe. Gabe goes almost 7 tenths quicker.
That'll be a P13 start for Gabe Cazzola. The Ferrari across the line, Jay and Cisco, up to 11th, I believe.
I believe Clay Smith just got over the line, so he'll be the last one to set a time. He's got all these
It
cars
looks like
retiring
it,
on
yeah.
track
Oh
in
no.
his way.
Lots of
Oh
traffic for Clay
no!
Smith.
Oh
no.
no!
Runs straight into the back of that Red Bull there. Oh no, and that's Luke Allen. Wrong place, wrong time by
Why are we
all
retiring
means.
on track, folks? You cannot
Yeah.
simply do this.
Wow, so
That's going to be a huge penalty.
hopes entirely dashed there for Clay Smith, who seemed to be up through Sector 1 by a decent margin. However, comes to a crashing halt, no pun intended. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, I believe, the only driver on a legal lap at the moment. So we will wait to see him come across the line. Not entirely sure about it, though.
Oh, something's
Oh,
wrong with
big
Jurg's
twitch.
internet.
Yeah. Oh,
What?
yeah. Never mind. Yeah, something's up. Alright, well, it looks like the grid is set here in Singapore. Boriyoshi holding on to that 129.21 by 7/100ths of a second over Abdul Al-Hazmi, who did manage to improve but by not quite enough. Clay Smith, just heartbreak there on his final lap. I mean, no other way to put it. He will start from P3, so it will be a good start for him, but nonetheless, I mean, he was probably aiming a bit higher there with the lap that he was about to lay down.
That's just. I've said this before. I've brought it up many times. You should not be allowed to retire on track. In most leagues I've ever done, you weren't allowed to do that. If you were going to retire, or you had to do it in the pit. And retiring on track, we saw what happened. The AI took control and didn't go to the escape road and just completely ruined the lap of somebody. We don't know. It's just. It's a needless incident that shouldn't have to happen, and that's just unfortunate. My heart is out there for Clay. He's what could have been. I mean, he was only 4 tenths off a pole. What could have been? You know, it's just it
So,
sucks, man.
there we have it. On the front row will be Boriyoshi on pole position with Abdul Al-Hazmi close behind. Second row will be Clay Smith with AJ Knickel right next to him. Julius Duku and Matty Daly will be on the third row. Good qualifying for the both of them. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Andrew Davis will take the fourth row, P7 and P8 respectively. Jamie Knock, qualifying P9, will start alongside Tyler Crabtree. Fidel Fabian and newcomer Jan Cisco will be starting, I believe, 11 and 12th. And there you have it. Alright, so I believe we should be straight into it here. 31 laps, if I'm correct. A grueling 31 laps for the drivers. Maybe not on this occasion tonight, but definitely for the ones that are actually racing this circuit on a regular basis.
Keep your eyes out for turn 1. Spicy, spicy.
Yeah, should see plenty of action in tonight's race. Don't expect it to be tame by any means. Plenty of drivers on the grid for tonight. So, plenty more opportunities for problems to unfold, of course. Bill, you want to put an early call on how many safety car incidents we'll see?
No, I want to see everybody win. Finish this race. Wish I could see everybody win.
Well, it's lights out and away we go here. A good start, it looks like, for Boryoshi. However, Abdullah Hazmi with a decent
Oh
start as
no!
well, and that Mercedes is nearly sideways, taking a Ferrari with it, it looks like. Oh no.
He's around. Ooh! He's just not come to grips with. Let's see what he's on right now.
Clay Smith dropping way down. He just had a big twitch and could not save it well enough.
Yep. The hard's not firing off the way he wished they would.
Oh no.
He was pretty much ice skating through there, and he's gonna chuck it up the inside of the other Red Bull. No, he's not. Oh, and there's Luke Allen right in front of him. He's probably got to be feeling a little distaste. Oh, he has to avoid him.
Very tight,
Yeah,
all up and down the grid.
He's skating right now.
Man, Jamie Nock with Julius Duco in close company, already picking up the 5-second penalty for corner cutting, unfortunately. Andrew Davis tailing him close behind, with Fidel Fabian also there. Bit of a train
Oh no!
between these cars. Oh, and that's Julius Duco. Oh no.
Oh, there's one.
He couldn't even see what happened, but he is without a front wing now because of that.
It's just no grip. Came through there, coming across the bridge. Lost the rear end, overcorrected, just snap oversteer. And, well, you see it, Alex. These walls are narrow.
And so about 3/4 of the way through Sector 2 of the first lap, we have our first safety car related incident. It will be a VSC for the moment. Probably just a few bits of carbon and debris to pick up off the track. But Julius Duco rejoining. I mean, he is without a wing by all means. It probably shattered into many bits and pieces, but he is not out by any means. He's still at the back of the pack.
To compartmentalize his problems, he is going to have to serve that 5-second penalty he picked up because of his teammate's incident. And, well, there's always hope here at Singapore for a full-fledged, full-course safety car. Yeah, there's nothing left of that wing. It was crowd-stricken for sure. But, nonetheless, he'll get her changed out. What beautiful detail there.
Yeah, back to green we are already. Seems to be a quick
Whoops.
cleanup. Boryoshi getting a good getaway, but Abdullah Hazmi reading it very well. Both of them getting away from AJ Knickel and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Both pretty well, though. Ooh, coming real close to the wall. There is Boryoshi. And this will be an interesting fight nonetheless. I mean, these are two just great seasoned drivers, and without Mikey de Jong to, try to shake up this fight, we should see it going on just like this for the majority of the night, barring any mistakes or...
Oh, and who's Gabe's in the wall?
Oh no. Currently sitting P9. Oh, and he now is without a front wing. Wow, getting right in the way of Tyler Crabtree and Luke Allen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Luke Allen looking to make the move here on Tyler Crabtree.
Understeer.
Bit of a squeeze, some wheel touching there as well. Gabe Cazola somehow without a front wing holding down that P9 spot. Here.
He's just going to be driving like a dump truck through here, and he's not... Oh, they're too wide through there.
Oh, no.
Fair play to them, though. They made it... Oh!
Gabe instantly in.
Oh, Gabe got... Oh, no! Gabe, without the front wing, carried too much speed and understeered completely off of the pit road.
Oh,
a bit of a box, stay out situation. As Tyler Crabtree repairs his wing, he'll be back on track, switching to the hard compound tires. He'll be good to go for a lengthy bit of time. That's unfortunate for Gabe. That's gonna kick him right in the DRS.
Meanwhile, I mean, packs starting to form, DRS trains starting to form as well up and down the grid. Not too much action. Matty Daly and Luke Allen currently fighting for that P9 position that was given up by Gabe after the incident. Clay Smith, though, storming his way back up the order. I mean, he dropped all the way to, I believe, P12 after the initial incident, up into P8 and fighting Fidel for P7 at the moment.
Yeah, came through turn 1 like Hans from Tokyo Drift and was able to save it. Unfortunately, cannot say the same for his... As we see fastest laps being traded by the front two here, and oddly enough, both on different compounds of tires, differing strategies. Al Hasmi able to keep up with Boryoshi, even being on the harder compound tire. So we'll see how this shakes up. He's obviously going to go for a longer stint than Boryoshi here, so...
Yeah, it'll be interesting either way. I mean, both these drivers, just on merit alone,
Oh!
can... Uh-oh. Big pass
Sorry,
there
it
from
was just...
Jamie Knock. Oh, and
Yeah,
some...
it's...
I think it's
Jerk
Jerg.
just like lagged and it looked like... Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I think it's just
I gotta...
Jerg.
It looked like there was about to be a massive incident, but thank God it's internet and everything is good.
For the moment, at the very least. Jamie Knock, however, getting that spot on Jerg, maybe because of some troubles. And Andrew Davis kind of looking to pick up the crumbs of that fight unfolding ahead of him.
We always see this at the front. The front two, front three never really seem to be able to form a gap. It's been great competition all season. That's just a fight. Normally we would see Matthew Stotts up in the fray, but unfortunately has not been able to get back into his car, I don't think, because he's still ghosted on track well off the pace. So that's not indicative of Matthew Stotts and his pace, so clearly not back.
Yeah, unfortunate. Seems like this lobby may have caused some more problems tonight. I mean, just kind of an expectation at this point with the game, but nonetheless, you hate to
Nothing
see
you
it.
can really do.
Yeah.
Andrew Davis closing up on the back of Jonathan Jerks. It is sketchy to watch, to say the least, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Are you watching on Andrew's POV right now?
I'm watching Andrew's T-Cam, yeah, straight ahead.
Yeah. It seems like the most fabulous of incidents happens, and then... Ooh! Very daring from Andrew Davis.
Close battle here. I mean, all respect to Jerg for being able to keep right up with Jamie Knock after Jamie had made that pass on him. Did not pull away by any means.
This is the spiciest battle on track at the moment. Ooh,
Oh.
That was very close. What is this?
Did we have a Ferrari crash out? Oh, not clear.
It's almost as if he went straight on there, down there at the end of
It looks like it is that turn
No safety
13, I
car.
believe it is. No safety
We'll
car.
move
Quick
on,
cleanup. Yeah.
Brought it to the escape road.
Oh, Jerg kicking it way out, looking to make the inside move. Possibly. I mean, tough to tell what his true intentions are with him just bobbing back and forth across the track with the network issues, but tucks it back in.
Yeah, you can tell it's messing with Andrew's his sight for his braking. He can get close, but like just the janking back and forth, it's just you can tell it's throwing off Andrew a bit.
Oh, yeah. Bit egregious at points. However, they will keep that battle up. These are the closest drivers to one another of any on track at the moment, barring the leaders of this race. Boryoshi holding about half a second, maybe a bit more, over Al Hazmi at the moment.
Oh. Sieber,
Oh no, and it will be
Julio
track
getting a
limit
3-second
penalty, yeah. after already being assessed the 5-second penalty for corner cutting.
Eeh. This has got to be so difficult. It's a really tough circuit to pass on unless that one DRS straight in Sector 1. And especially with a guy just moving back and forth in front of you. You don't know where he is, technically.
I mean, all this maneuvering and trying to deal with it has certainly pulled Clay Smith back into the fray. Catching the tail of this fight. Oh, and it's tough to see. Oh, no. Andrew
You can't
Davis.
you
It's,
can't blame
yeah.
Andrew for that. It's Jurg's internet's fault. Andrew thought he was in one spot, so he went to the other spot, and then he appeared in that spot, so he went to the other spot, and then you can't put that on Andrew. That's just not right. It's just unfortunate. It's shame.
It is, yeah. Unfortunate for Jurg, but I mean, it was.
Oh,
That pot was ready to boil over at a moment's
oh,
notice, and
absolutely.
yeah.
And unfortunately for Andrew and all that, he didn't even get the position as Clay goes right by. So it's all for naught, unfortunately.
Andrew will have a bit of a tougher battle here to try to catch that 5th place position. Clay
And of course,
certainly.
I'm sure Jurg doesn't know that he's lagging like that, so he's probably going to be all pissed off at Andrew next time he sees him.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, I'm sure Jurg is probably seeing everybody else lagging on his screen, and he feels like the victim having to deal with it.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
It's victimless crimes out here.
No, it was bound to happen, and it's unfortunate
Yeah.
one way or the other. However, I mean, Andrew Davis keeping right up with Clay Smith, well within DRS range at the moment. This fight for P4, it looks like, because Clay also within striking distance of Jamie Knock now, too. This
Yeah,
could heat
Clay's
up.
absolutely been able to really bring it back in. We saw, like you said, drop down to P12. It's just slowly but surely, it's just chipping away. Driving like Lewis Hamilton in the Lewis Hamilton colored car.
Closest battle on track at the moment, still the leaders. I'm so amazed.
Wow.
Oh, Al-Hazmi maybe looking to make the move around the outside here. He's wheel to wheel with Boryoshi. He
Such
concedes
respect
by
by
some
these two.
margin, yeah. Knows there was probably going to be an issue there if he pushed it too hard, but backs out and falls into station as we have been thus far. Boryoshi now having led 7 racing laps of this Grand Prix, but certainly challenged the whole way through thus far. And of course, as mentioned earlier, Abdullah Hazmi racing those hard compound tires with Boryoshi having started on the medium compound tires. We will see strategy come into play, I'm sure, further down the line of this race.
And even more so, they've managed to gap AJ back there. AJ is kind of on an island. He's got no one really challenging him. He's not challenging at the moment. He's just comfortable, clean podium position. So
5 seconds to the car ahead and 5 to the car behind. It's an interesting position. I mean, plenty of clean air. He should be running no problem through here, but regardless, yeah, strange position for sure. Clay Smith now looking to make the push on Jamie Knock, it looks like. Right up to the back of him through there.
whoa, Jamie, what a save!
Allows Clay to get wheel to wheel for a moment, but Clay does concede.
Clay's looking for that DRS. You see Gabe take another penalty. Gabe takes a nosedive and safety car.
The safety car deployed for that incident, it looks like, involving the Alpine, unfortunately. So, a few great battles will be put to a quick halt, unfortunately, as these cars will bunch back up. May see strategy calls come into play here. We are at about that moment where some of these medium compound runners may decide to duck it in for a change.
Yeah, this could play into Boryoshi's hands because he could probably go off onto the hards and be able to make it to the end, but I don't think the same would be able to be spoken about Al-Hazmi. I don't think he can go off the hards and ride mediums to the end, so I want to talk about AJ being on an island. Well, the island just got even lonelier here for Al-Hazmi, so. But
Now, in
I'm not in the
Al-Hazmi's,
race.
in his position though, would you duck in for a fresh set of hards in this scenario?
You don't have them available. You
Uh,
don't. They're not available. You got one set of hearts for a weekend usually. Very rarely. I don't think there's a scenario in which you have more than one. I mean, you could save them off in practice, but the game doesn't allow that sort of thing. Oh, and here it is.
I don't think Park for May allows that either, honestly. You have to turn him in regardless of if you used him. But yeah, the leader will come in, as well as Al-Hazmi, also coming in on those hard compound tires. Certainly an early stop for him. Let's see what he will go on to.
Yeah, it's gonna be medium. There's
It
no
looks
other.
like it will be the medium compound tires. A very interesting call here by the Williams team for that sole driver they have out on track tonight.
Can he do 21 laps on a set of mediums? I don't know. We saw Boryoshi really struggling there on the mediums, and it was lap 10. So, well,
Boryoshi, of course,
listen, that's why the
opting for the
race.
hards.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see anybody opting for soft tires, but Jonathan Jurgensmeyer rolling the dice, staying out.
Once again, I mean, this has just become a move to
It's a jerk
expect
thing
from
to do.
him. Yeah.
I mean, he got. I don't want to say necessarily he got spun out by Andrew because I can't put anything on Andrew. The young kid did nothing wrong there. But this is going to suck for these leaders because as we can see, Jurg is going through
He's about
the
waist
safety
deep
car.
in the ass end of the safety car at points throughout this
Burt
lap.
Mylander being quite tickled. This is not good for the leaders because it puts them in a compromising
Nah.
situation.
I will never not respect Jurg for this move every
No,
time
no,
he
no.
makes it.
Love it.
He dies on his own cross, and like he
Under
carries it the whole way and
yeah,
he dies on it, and you always
under
respect
normal
that.
circumstances, Alex, I would 100% agree, and I'd be all on board it. Vis-a-vis the Netherlands, where he was like, "Screw it, we're gonna just run these softs. We're
The
not
Hail
pitting."
Mary, yeah.
The Hail Mary that got picked off by the entire team. Either way, but the lag is something that you just if you're gonna go down on a giant ball of flames, you usually just want to be it's a self-inflicted wound. But if it ends up involving other people, that's just terrorism.
We will be watching this restart in earnest for sure. Taking a look at
Oh,
the tire
absolutely.
details now. Jurg, of
You
course,
can
staying
see
out
these
on those
guys are
hards he
backed
started
way
on.
off him too. They're like, yeah,
So
we're not even gonna chance it.
Matthew Stotts, who is not actually Matthew Stotts for this Grand Prix, unfortunately, also opting to stay out on the hard compound tires. And
Come
Julius
on,
Duku,
Stotts.
sitting on the, I believe, 8-second penalty at the moment, also opting to stay out on medium compound tires.
Oh, look at that. Luke Allen trying to be cheeky and going through the ghost. Just trying to get that one extra spot. Was told to give it back. Naughty, naughty.
Will have to earn it on merit alone, unfortunately.
And it really, it's a weird spot for Luke, too, because for some reason the ghost of Matthew Stotts is, Andrew Davis in the chat. Jurg's scaring me. He's scaring the booth, Andrew.
Yeah, we will see things happen one way or the other because of all this. I mean, just prepare for it and enjoy it for whatever it may be. That's all we can really do, right? Opting to stay out, another Hail Mary call from Jurg, but I like it. He plays the numbers. This, of course, being the second safety car incident of the Grand Prix on the 9th lap, I believe it was called out. Jamie Nog mentioning, of course, that there's plenty of fear among the grid because of this. Jurg already instilling that fear in plenty of drivers further down. Andrew Davis, chief among them. Gabe Cazola as well. But, I mean, we will be watching in earnest. We will be patiently waiting for this restart just to see what shenanigans may become of it.
Yeah, Boryoshi, Andrew Davis, all in the chat urging Jurg, buddy, you have DSL.
Safety car will be in this lap, so we will be green for the 12th racing lap of the Grand Prix.
You gotta think, with the lateral movement of Jurg's car, those tires have to be the surface of the sun, right? They're plenty warm.
I mean, you can only imagine the sideways rubber banding, like the lateral movement more than anything. I believe these
Friction,
tires were
baby.
not designed to handle such loads, and the fact he doesn't have like a blown
Puncture,
tire,
puncture.
or puncture, or anything, is really just amazing. But it will be on his go, of course.
Oh, and he's just checked up the entirety of the field.
And we are off behind Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. His start being read pretty well by both Boryoshi and
Oh
Abdullah
no!
Hazmi. Big
Wow!
incident, it looks like. Was that
Blurry
the...
Julio nearly collecting the field, luckily
Oh,
taking
yeah.
evasive maneuvers, but everything's good. That was so close.
Big
And Matthew
torpedo.
Stocks' ghost just, for some reason, choosing until the safety car comes in to finally pit. The ghost of Matthew
Boryoshi
Stocks
taking a
not
run
doing him.
here. Oh, and he does
Oh,
make the move on Jonathan Jurgensmeyer with Abdullah Hazmi sneaking right in there too. Two positions lost in one corner for Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. And that is rather unfortunate. Now getting tied up with AJ Knickel.
uh,
Smelling blood in the water back there. Oh, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer just going to drop like a lead balloon at this point, unfortunately, on those 12-lap-old hard tires that he started this race with. Everybody else...
you can see how tentative everybody else is to go around. Luckily for Boryoshi and they said, no, we gotta do it now. But AJ's been compromised about 3 times thus far, and that's checking up Jamie Knock, Andrew Davis, Clay,
Yeah, every
and Cal
driver...
Fabian too.
Every driver, it looks like, from P3 down to, say, P8 is within like less than half a second of the driver ahead of them. We've got quite the train here. Everybody
Oh,
waiting to make
speaking
the
of
move.
train,
Boryoshi, oh, big move there. Abdullah Hazmi looking for it, but maybe he had to back out. Looking to avoid the penalty more than anything, I'd imagine, off that one. Holding station up front for the moment, AJ Knickel still looking to make the move on Jonathan Jurgensmeyer here. And it will be a 3-second time penalty assessed there to Jamie Knock, unfortunately, for track
and
limits.
Andrew Davis.
Andrew Davis getting it on the same corner as well, I believe. I think those penalties popped up at the same time. Unfortunate for both of them. I mean, they'll just... Oh, especially with the pack is tightly bunched up as it is.
You can see in the braking zone, AJ has to, like, yeah, well, he's just going to make...
Breezes past Jurg there.
Oh, Jamie Knox inside of Jurg. Oh, I mean, Jamie Knox had to give him the old chrome horn.
Oh, and Clay will be up next looking to make the move on Jurg, unfortunately. Oh, and lots of lateral movement there from the Haas.
Yeah, everybody's just going to push him out of the way. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. This man's killing the
Oh,
field.
no.
He just got punted all the way to the back. No,
It looks like
Jurg.
it. Oh, no. Like a lead balloon, he drops from about P6 to P12 in a span of, say, 6 seconds.
Oh, I'm sure he's been told to, like, buddy, please, with your McDonald's Wi-Fi, we need you to get out of the way. It's unfortunate. Jurg had some solid pace. We saw where he qualified. We know Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is the man that usually qualifies bad, but comes back in the race. We'll see Jurgensmeyer.
Now, what this has done, however...
Oh, that was Jurg realized he was lagging and he backed out. What a gentleman Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is.
A few drivers in the pit at the moment. But what this has done, especially with AJ being so tentative,
Here we go.
trying to make the move. Yes, and Al Hazmi does make the move.
Right, not much
Boryoshi
Boryoshi could do with the DRS. It's just watching horror.
With AJ so, you know, hesitant to make the move on Jurg, though, what that has done is separated these lead two by 3 seconds, almost 3.5, over the rest of the field at this point.
And Clay's coming back, smelling a podium. What a drive from Clay. Like, what a drive. You saw the earlier with lap 1 thing. It's almost a Williams moment.
Less than halfway through this Grand Prix also. I mean, plenty of race left for him to really make a push for it.
Oh, there's plenty of race left to also have more incidents.
Of course.
Del Fabian looking to maybe duck down the inside of Andrew. No, he's just gonna sit behind, patiently waiting. And Al Hasmi is taking off.
Oh yeah, he's hauling the mail at this point. Purple through that lap.
You got to think Clay would have AJ here heading into the DRS zone. Oh, AJ runs wide. That might be a warning for him. Feeling the pressure. Here we go. DRS wide open. AJ conserving the energy. Meanwhile, Clay deploying up. Easy as
Right
you
up
like.
the inside, and an easy move for Clay there. Into the podium. Into the final podium position for the moment.
Fidel was not able to get by Andrew there, so obviously some good defending from the Alpine driver. Now it's interesting, we didn't get to see Clay's final pace in qualifying because of that unfortunate incident with Luke Allen's oh no, retired car. So could he have pace to maybe chase down Boryoshi for P2? Again, like you've mentioned, you keep pulling me back in here, Alex. A lot of race left.
Plenty of race left, but also, I mean, you gotta take the jerk approach here and understand that that man stayed out regardless of his network issues. He was playing the numbers strictly off the fact that it was only lap 9 when the second safety car of the race was already called out. I'm sure that we will see another incident at some point in the rest of the Grand Prix, just playing the probability of it, and that may be what some of the drivers may be thinking about at this point as well.
Yeah, I see that Jurek has ducked in, taking the medium tires, so probably about where most people would have wanted to take the medium compound tire to the end. Some people more forced into it. We'll see. Al Hasmi, obviously, he's got the lead. He's obviously making a nice gap, but how far will those tires last if he pushes them?
Yeah, have to imagine that a lot of the drivers that came in on the second safety car incident from lap 9 to 12, taking tires that they thought may last them the rest of the race, may have jumped the gun on that call by just a slight margin.
Maybe that's why Al Hasmi's pushing it so much, maybe to try and create that gap. Because we see 2.2 seconds already.
Yeah, already building out quite a lap over Boryoshi.
And Clay is actually reeled in Boryoshi by half a second.
Just on the previous lap, a second and a half over the last 2 laps, Clay Smith has gotten closer to Boryoshi. Was about 4.7. Through 16 and 17 comes the leader, Abdul Al Hasmi, of this Singapore Grand Prix. 18 and 19, he'll come through now and over the line to take the 17th racing lap here tonight. With Boryoshi somewhat close in tow and Clay Smith creeping ever closer.
About the halfway mark there. Actually, that would have been a lap ago. Oops.
Yeah, 15 and a half. Fidel looking to make the move here on Andrew Davis, has not been able to for the last handful of laps or so, but certainly getting close enough on this occasion.
ERS.
Yeah.
He just doesn't seem to be able to find the traction out of the corner. And by the time he actually catches up to Andrew, he's just not there to make a move. He's just got to hold stationary. Clay within 1.9 seconds now.
Yeah, under 2
Another one,
seconds.
though, that did take the medium tires, so.
He may be overextending by some margin, maybe using up a bit too much life early in this stint that he will pretty vitally need come the end of the stint if he hopes to make a push for that P2 position, and therefore
I wonder what
possibly.
the mindset is. Maybe they're thinking that perhaps we will get another safety car. The odds are pretty good that we could, but in the event that we don't, well, that's why the 31 laps got to get played out.
Yeah, totally agree, and that goes right back to the point where I made about drivers potentially jumping the gun by choosing a compound that they were expecting to end the race on. Maybe making that choice just a few laps too soon. We may see some drivers really suffer for it come the end of the Grand Prix. But
I
of
think
course,
Boryoshi, AJ, Andrew, Maddie, Luke, they should be fine, depending on how hard they're pushing.
so some gaps really starting to form up and down the field at this point. Closest battle on track is still Fidel and Andrew for that P5 position. Nobody else except, oh, Matt Daly. Popping in and out of DRS range of Fabian, trying to catch the tail end of that battle ahead of him, but nobody else, it looks like, within 1 second of the car ahead of them.
No, Fidel's just been staring at the back of that Alpine for, well, since we've gone green, actually. Just gotta depend on Andrew to make a mistake, but gotta say, Andrew has been really solid lately. A lot of good results, very few mistakes. Ooh, Fidel getting a bit ambitious there. But Andrew able to escape with his life.
Maybe paying the price for it here, though, is it's allowed Matty Daly to make up a few tenths at least on the gap between him and Fidel.
As I said that, Boryoshi's now extending that gap to Clay Smith, so.
Looks like Clay may have switched into conserve here. Yep, he is definitely conserving and recharging. Had a feeling he was pushing a bit hard, trying to make up time in that gap to Boryoshi, but it's paid off for the moment. AJ quite a ways behind him as well.
See Tyler getting a 3-second penalty added on to his race time. What is this? Safety car, safety car.
Safety car has been deployed. I don't see any cars
Oh,
stopped on
Blurry
track.
Julio. Blurry Julio crashing in turn 7.
Oh no.
No front wing. Now this is going to change everything. But, again, what do you have available? I don't know if there's anybody with a fresh set of mediums. The only thing that somebody might have a fresh set of are softs, but you know as well as I do, 11 laps, that's a bit pushy.
It's a numbers game, man. We had a safety car.
Oh, we'll find out here in a second.
Safety car on lap 1 of this race, as well as lap 9. And here we have another one on lap 19. The leader of this race pulling in. Boryoshi also pulling into the pits behind him. Clay Smith close behind them.
For Boryoshi.
It will be mediums for the Red Bull. What will it be? It will be another set of mediums also for the Williams. Clay Smith, what will it be for the Mercedes? This might be a really hot fight here come the end.
Softs! Softs for the Aston Martin of AJ Knickel. Wow.
Now that's a call. That is quite a call. It will be mediums for Clay Smith.
Softs for Fidel. Mediums for Andrew. Mediums for Luke. Blurry Julio going on to a set of softs and a fresh wing. Jamie Knock makes his way into the pit. I can imagine this will be one of the 2 compounds we see everybody else on. Waiting for confirmation. Tyler Crabtree doesn't want to pit. It'll be the soft compound tires. Matthew Stotts, the ghost of, will pit. What is the AI thinking? He wants a fresh set of mediums. So Tyler Crabtree staying out on track on 6-lap old mediums. Interesting call, Alex.
It is a call. I mean,
oh, it's a call.
It's a call, that's for sure. I mean, the interesting part to me is the fact that it only made him up about 2 or 3 positions, I think.
I'm not sure it'll be worth it once he's got 2 guys that have shown incredible pace thus far on soft compound tires. But AJ, P4 on the softs.
That will be interesting one way or the other. As mentioned, of course, 11 laps left to race here. Will those softs stand up for all 11 of those laps?
Field spread out, so depending on how many laps, we could have 10 or 9 laps left to go under green flag. So, and everybody on fresh tires is gonna be going for it. They're gonna feel like Superman with the fresh shoes. So, cautions breed cautions. But
Taking a look now at the position change data, positions gained and lost. The biggest movers on the grid are Luke Allen, up from P14 to P8, and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Julius Duku both down 5 positions. Julius
Alex,
Duku.
I'd like to. I think that's a bit of a twisted stat because I mean, Clay was down in 12th by the third corner, and I mean we saw.
See, that's why we
Granted,
need. That's why we need an
Yeah.
overtake stat. Sorry.
That's a fair point.
I've just always been pushing for that. I think that is the one graphic in actual F1 and whatnot. Amazon World Services could very easily track and provide that data. But I think seeing the total number of overtakes of any given Grand Prix per driver would be a really useful stat, personally.
I mean, they've started coming out with the stat that tells us how much each car has left of ERS. I mean, surely you can tell me how many cars a car has passed. That's a good point, Alex. All right.
Do you know who is the all-time leader of overtakes in Formula One, Billy?
Can I get one hint? I'll ask one hint question. Is it a common era driver, or are we talking
It is a common era
in the car?
driver. It's a driver that has had the most chances to be able to make an overtake in the first place.
I'm gonna go with Fernando Alonso.
And you would be extremely correct, my friend.
My second guess would have to be Lewis Hamilton, but then again, actually no, because when you start at the front, there's not many cars to pass.
Is very true. It's a big portion of his career, it should be mentioned also, where that was the case.
Connor
Yeah.
seems to be confused. It's Singapore. Monaco is tomorrow.
So we will be behind the safety car for another lap here. Lap 22, which means that it should be expected that lap 23 of 31 will be the first lap back under green of this Grand Prix. So that leaves 9 racing laps. Maybe a good call here from AJ Knickel if he can manage to stick it out for those 9 laps. I mean, the fact that this safety car was extended 1 extra lap waiting for that McLaren of Tyler Crabtree to catch the back of the pack, maybe the saving grace that AJ Knickel needed there. Only
It's gonna
time
be
will tell,
tough.
of course.
Our two leaders that we've seen all day, Boryoshi and El Hasman, they're gonna be. I feel like their pace really kind of balances out the tire compound advantage AJ might have. However, I do think he has the pace to be able to nick Clay here for P3. But, again, we got to race all the laps.
I mean, it's just such a dense lap count. It's going to be interesting no matter what, because we'll see the leaders battling, and that may slow them down enough to allow Clay and AJ into the fray as well. Like, it'll be interesting one way or the other. I'm just super excited to see this restart.
Oh, it's going to be a dash. I'm really interested to see where is Al Hasmi going to try and go as fast as he can to go to back everybody up. Oh, excuse me, didn't mean to yawn. This is not boring by any means. Sorry, I was just out working until 1:30 in the morning.
Well, we are officially here at the point in the race where the team cannot save you. There is no strategy call that can be made that will win you this Grand Prix at this point. It is purely off your own racing merit if you are going to be doing so. And we've got a real shootout. I mean, you can equate it to some degree to like a NASCAR plate race or something with these top 4 at least. You know, any one of these 4 drivers, I feel, has somewhat of a shot to win this race. It just depends on when each chooses to make their move.
Well, there's a lot of hungry drivers behind them. Andrew's been riding a bit of success. We've seen uh, off camera, we've had some Jurg Grand Prix hosted by Jurgensmeyer himself. Andrew had phenomenal results in the F2 car and the F1 car around Las Vegas, so he's on a bit of form. So we will see, Alex.
We certainly will. Safety car in this lap, and it looks like Alhazmi is already off and running, getting a bit of a jump there on Boryoshi. Already up half a second on him, but Clay Smith reading it pretty well. Right up onto the back of Boryoshi he is. AJ Knickel, though, maybe not reading it quite as well as Clay. Already down half a second to him. A bit of a twitch there from the Mercedes of Clay Smith, but corrects it pretty easily.
Yeah, how long will the softs last? Pushing at ultimate.
Oh my goodness, and Alhazmi already pushing 1 second of a gap already to Boryoshi, and he is just off and running. Oh no.
Oh, here comes Matt Daly's around off the side pod.
Oh, no.
He just chucked it up the inside of Andrew.
Was not able to make
Jonathan
it happen.
Lagensmeyer.
Good for the moment though. No yellows out. No safety car deployed for it. Matty Daly manages to get it back onto the track and going once more. And Alhazmi still maintaining that 1 second gap, it looks like, an ever-growing 1.1, nearly 1.2 seconds now. Clay Smith still half a second behind Boryoshi, and AJ Knickel kind of dropping off the back of those top three already. On those soft compound tires, maybe waiting for some heat to be put into them off this lap.
Second for Luke Allen.
Yep, another track limit penalty being assessed. That is now 5 drivers on the grid who will be serving probably post-race time penalties.
Oh, did AJ touch the wall there?
And Alhazmi just picking up the pace more and more throughout this Grand Prix. Of course, the fuel load down quite a bit now from the last time he put up a purple lap, but still crushes that time by nearly half a second.
Boryoshi not letting him get away. Still within a second, and in a second between him and also Clay. They pulled a bit of a gap here on AJ, and Andrew once again has Fidel Fabian all over the back of him.
Oh no. Been battling for half this Grand Prix or more. Oh, trading positions here are Jamie Knock and Luke Allen going blow for blow. Oh, I believe that's Connor in the chat. Just want to say what's up. Sorry I didn't see your message earlier. Must have been when still early in the stream. Luke Allen quickly dropping off the back now of Jamie Knock. Had a chance at him for a moment, but Jamie now up into that P8 position and holding it pretty comfortably. Luke Allen, however, with Jurg now in close company, storming his way back up into the points. He's looking to double his point total here if he can make up this position.
Yep. Either way, he'll have the position. I'm sure there'll be some post-race penalties coming for Luke, unfortunately, for the qualifying incident. Plus, he's got a 3-second, so that would put him behind the Haas.
And here we are. I mean, really getting down to the nitty-gritty of it. Of course, I mean, the top 3 drivers all within about 1 second of each other, just kind of barely hanging on to that DRS range of one another.
Top 7 are all a bluish hue of car.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Fidel, I don't think he's just not got it.
I don't think so. I don't know if he's going to be able to make that move on Andrew Davis, who has been driving himself a pretty clean and comfortable race thus far. Of course, running into some trouble with Jurg earlier.
Boryoshi is there.
Yeah, Boryoshi making up a bit of time here on Alhazmi. Closes the gap by a small margin. Now about half a second.
Both of these drivers are just so smooth with their throttle application here late in the race. Boryoshi apparently goes purple. Probably a glitch.
Purple sector 2, yeah, I've also been seeing that since you mentioned it. Not sure if it's fully legit, but we will honor it regardless.
Whoa! Very deep!
That was very close. These lead two drivers, of course, both racing the same compound of tire, as well as Clay Smith, who has dropped about a second to Borioshi just in the previous half a lap or so.
Well, both these drivers could smell the win. They've been here before. They know how to win. They've stood on the top step. They've stood on the second and third step.
AJ Knickel, must be said, biggest surprise off the restart. I mean, I was really expecting those soft tires to come alive pretty quickly and see him on the podium, but he is still holding about 1 second behind Clay Smith at the moment.
Yeah, softs are tough here.
Very twitchy.
He's struggling right now. Borioshi just gained so much time there by just taking about a meter more track width. It just sliced through there. Catching him's one thing, Alex. Passing him is a whole different story.
Yeah, Al-Hazmi already proving his worth as far as defensive driving goes earlier in the season, of course. Had that sensational drive at, what was it, I believe, where was it? It was at Miami. He had that sensational defensive drive, holding off, I believe it was Borioshi once again to give teammate Mikey DeYoung the win. Just totally throwing himself onto the coals for that one and came out the better for it, it looks like. Borioshi, though, really taking the issue right up onto the back of Abdul Al-Hazmi here. Well within striking distance.
He's gonna have DRS.
Yep.
Borioshi not using overtake. He's saving it.
It looks like it with Al-Hazmi using up his just to stay ahead, knowing that the driver behind has that DRS that is so strong here.
Just watch Borioshi's line through here. Just look how much time he gains just by cutting this corner so perfectly. Right there. He's able to just close this gap.
Yeah. Right up onto the back once more of Al-Hazmi. The laps count really starting to dwindle at this point as they make their way through Sector 2.
You got to think that Borioshi might be waiting for the last lap to try and attack in that DRS straight.
He very well might, still saving here. Gaining charge on his ERS all the more. Ooh. Bit wide there. Does not lose too much to Al-Hazmi. Clay Smith,
Four
though,
to go.
Still not much of an advance here from Clay Smith, who has used a lot of his ERS, it seems, just to keep up to some margin with these lead two. It has gifted him with over a 3-second gap to AJ Knickel behind, so he should be comfortably on the podium at this point, as Jamie Knock picks up another 3-second penalty for track limits, unfortunately. But it's a waiting game at this point. Borioshi and Al-Hazmi going blow for blow all race. Borioshi, of course, having started on pole. It was really him for the first half, shining through the safety cars, the restarts, the strategy calls, and whatnot. But Al-Hazmi, having made the move before the most recent safety car incident in pit cycle, has held it ever since. And at this point, I feel like it is kind of his race to lose, but of course, sitting on that 35% charge of ERS with Borioshi with double the battery, maybe plenty of juice left in the tank to be able to make some magic happen on these latter stages or latter laps of this late stage of the race.
Just so enthralled as a spectator and a fan of the sport, just watching just these guys that have just been really overshadowed all season by the one Williams driver and Mikey DeYoung and Liam Carrick, who just, every time those two are out on track, it's like titans colliding. But these two guys have certainly earned their keep. They are in a heated battle for P2 in the championship. Borioshi's slowly been trying to chip away, but with the results of has me lately. We got a cautious at Jerkensmeyer. Hopefully that's not going to result in a situation.
Cautions are out through Sector 3. Unclear what it is, but seems to have cleared up pretty quickly as we're back to green.
We would hate to see a safety car with these guys doing what they're doing right now.
Leaders
You gotta
making their
understand,
way.
Alex. Like, in Al Hasby's position, it's so hard to drive knowing that the guy behind you, it's just like there's nothing you can do. You can't shake him. You can't shake. Oh, big step out
Big
there from
twitch,
Boryoshi.
yeah.
He just shrugs it off like it was nothing. But Al Hasby's just so cool under pressure thus far. It's just two dudes driving at their absolute best at the moment.
Making their way through Sector 3 now. They will be crossing the line and taking 2 laps to go.
When does he pounce? When does he attack? When does he go for it?
And they're just pushing each other ever further ahead of the rest of the pack as Clay Smith now finds himself over 3.5 seconds behind these lead 2.
They're so close.
It is. Nose right to the tail of Al Hasmi on that one is Boryoshi.
I'm telling you, if real life F1 had a battle like this, and here we go. Here we go. Does Boryoshi have enough? Does he have the speed?
Makes the move
around
the outside. Oh, he goes a bit wide there, and he'll have to concede the position, if only for the moment.
Game on now.
Yeah, what a battle we have here. Boryoshi knows that he can make the move if he's close enough, I'm sure. Sitting on plenty of charge as well.
He's got to nail Sector 1 to get a really good exit onto that DRS straight in order to really have a chance at him. You know Al Hasmi's going to protect the inside line heading into turn 7. Oh, is he going to catch him napping here?
It looks like he might. No, he tucks back in. Right up to the back of that Williams, though. Through Sector 3 they come now, into 16 and 17. Oh, and slight
so
contact.
Close!
I think there was some slight contact there. No trouble because of it, though. Boryoshi backs out by a slight margin because of it.
He's going to stay on the back of him here. He's going to be so close. Al Hasmi is going to use everything he can to defend.
Final lap of the race here. Plenty of battery charge left to be deployed by Boryoshi here, with Al Hasmi sitting on just enough maybe to defend his way through this lap and nothing more.
Is it going to be enough? Oh, he has to recharge. He's left so vulnerable.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's going to be enough. Oh, no. Unless Boryoshi can get inventive with another spot to overtake. That was, I believe, his best chance, Alex.
Into Sector 2. I mean, he's felt real comfortable trying to take him down the stretch between 13 and 14, so...
You have noticed that too, yes?
Yeah. I think that may be where he's trying to line it up right here. Gaining that time that you mentioned, as he's been doing through those corners there, 12 and 13. Now, as he comes through 13...
Oh, he missed the apex!
Oh, he did, and he's losing out a lot of momentum on his corner exit. Will he be close enough to make a move? It does not look like he will. This was probably his best chance right there. He's been so comfortable doing it, but, I mean, he's been going for it here. Yeah.
There's I don't know. There's nowhere for him to go, Alex. Oh, this is so close. You knew contact was inevitable.
Oh, my goodness.
Boryoshi's going to let off. Oh, what a fantastic finish.
What a race. What a defensive drive there from Al Hasmi. What a chance that Boryoshi had, and he knew it, but just not quite enough there at the end. But there you have it. It is Abdullah Hasmi who will come home with the win here at Singapore tonight. Boryoshi very close behind, and Clay Smith making up a bit of time there to the leaders at the end. Did drop further than 4 seconds back, I believe, at some point. Finishes within 3 seconds with AJ Knickel close behind him as well. Andrew Davis holding down
Wow.
that P5 position, and Fidel just not managing to get it done at any point in this race. Will come home with the P6 though. Matty Daly getting that P7 with Blurry Julio close behind him, 6/100ths of a second. I'm sorry. With Luke Allen close as well, 8/100ths of a second behind Julius Duco, Tyler Crabtree in the final point scoring position. But wow, what a finish! I mean, we kind of knew that these were going to be the top dogs from the beginning, laying down blistering laps all through qualifying. The pace was to be expected from these two, and they certainly delivered on giving us a show. What a race!
Matthew Stott's driver of the day question?
I thought for sure it would be Clay Smith, honestly, just given the roller coaster of a
Oh
race
my
that he
god.
had. But wow, what an interesting Grand Prix. You had fireworks when you needed them, as well as when you didn't need them, and you had great racing the whole way through.
That was a fantastic finish, Alex. That was. Oh, that was so good there at the end between two guys. Oh, hearing from Luke now, actually. Luke said he retired in the pit lane, and then the car just drove out on the track.
Oh no, in qualifying that is, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, uh.
So there you have it, folks. As mentioned, Abdullah Hazmi for the Williams team coming away with the win here tonight and the fastest lap. Will snatch that extra point with Boriyoshi close behind, taking that P2 finish. Clay Smith will get the final podium position in that Mercedes. AJ Knickel not quite enough on that final stint on the softs. Will finish P4. Andrew Davis holding P5 with Fidel Fabian close behind him in P6. Matty Daly and Blurry Julio getting the P7 and P8 finishes together. Luke Allen so close behind Blurry Julio will take P9, and as mentioned, Tyler Crabtree in that final point scoring position. He'll take home P10. Matthew Stotts, or the ghost of, taking the P11 finish somehow. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, after an up and down race by all means, just plenty of trouble that he found himself in, will get P12. Jamie Knock, after penalty assessment and whatnot, will end up P13 for his troubles, and Gabe Cazola, retiring in this one, will get P14.
Just trying to corral the interview needers.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, with these guys, you think they're in here every week. Click the button. Thank you. Oh no. Come on. Bit of computer difficulties. Interview time. Just so close at the end. You could see Al Hasmi just defended that so perfectly. It's just the desperation. We got one person join. Just trying to see if we can get Clay and Mr. Yosh. Not Masataka Yoshida, but Boriyoshi himself. I'm afraid to start talking to Hasmi here because I'm afraid everybody else is going to join. It's just going to throw the entire order into it. And as I speak. Well, we do have third place here. Clay Smith. Can you hear me? Is this your first ARC podium? Thanks, it is. So humble. Pretty tumultuous start there into turn one. Looked like you were absolutely on ice skates on the hard compound tires, dropping back to P12. But the climb of the race all the way back for a podium. Do you want to walk us through it, man?
I mean, driver of the day in our books, by all means. You had quite the roller coaster of a race.
Yeah, I definitely would throw your name in the hat. We saw you did everything you could to save that car, and then like it wasn't astounding moves. You were just slowly but surely chipping away, and next thing you know, you were gaining on P2 for a bit, and then kind of settled into your own groove, and ultimately still on the podium though. So congratulations, man. All right, move to Boriyoshi, P2. I gotta say, man, started on pole, dropped back. You guys had altering strategies, but you could just feel at the end. Everybody in the booth, everybody at home, could just see you waiting. Walk us through, man. It was so close there at the end.
Yeah, the last 10 laps were really fun. To your point, first like 2/3 of the race we were on altering strategies, so it was a tough time keeping him behind on the mediums when they kind of started dying. Safety car came at a good time for me, and then from there on out, was hoping that it would be no more incidents, no more safety cars. He got me on the mediums, I think like halfway through the race, but then just before the safety car came out the second time, I was starting to eat back into his lead. So I felt comfortable that I could go to the end on the hards. Felt pretty sure that he would either not be able to go to the end of the mediums or would be hating life on them. But yeah, the last 10 laps were really, really fun on the same strategy. I was waiting for his red light to blink, but unfortunately it didn't come soon enough. But had a lot of fun. GG's bummer.
Yeah, I can appreciate the way you guys battled. It was clean, it was respectful. We saw a little bit of contact there a couple of times, but ultimately we could see via your throttle input. You let off, you did the right thing, but it was super clean, and everybody, I could speak for me and Alex, we thoroughly enjoyed that. We could see it was never within more than half a second, just lockstep with each other. Your line through Sector 2 was so optimal, I gotta say, Boryoshi. You were able to cut that little part right by the orange barricade, and it was like almost you were setting up. You guys had different lines. It was almost you're just weaving in poetry. It was a phenomenal race to watch, and I appreciate you guys for putting on a show. So thank you very much, and congratulations on P2, man.
Appreciate it.
And Al has me, man. Back to back, you go. Back to back to back. Uh,
Well,
the Minister
I
of Defense can go to you.
well, I definitely didn't expect it in this race though.
Well,
Uh,
it's the ones you least expect, man.
well, I mean, I didn't get to start a third lap in qualifying. I didn't time the uh, session time correctly to start the third lap, and because I had to give Jonathan some space for his lap, I lost I lost the line by 1 second. But P2 was fine starting. Uh, I gotta say though, the first safety car, it definitely did concern me because if, like Yoshi said, if there were no more safety cars, I would have most definitely hated life with those mediums towards the end. But all I gotta say, I was the luckiest person with the other safety cars. The second safety car came out as soon as my medium started dying, and then oh yeah, I lowered my front wing in the pits just so I can have a little bit of straight line speed in the straight to defend, which seemed to work. And yeah, I just gotta thank the safety cars and the clean racing from Yoshi.
Well, I gotta ask you right now, while the microphone's at your lips, going into this race, the point advantage was 32 points between you and your teammate. Is my math correct on this, Alex? I
38, you
believe it
say?
is.
Let me take a quick check.
Yeah, I said 32, but I could be wrong. Quick maths.
32. Yep.
32. So, you took maximum points this weekend, fastest lap, the race victory, 26 points.
Well,
Are you going to be challenging for the championship now? Is your hat ultimately thrown in the ring for this? Are you going for it?
I
Obviously
mean,
you've been going for it, but now that your teammate has missed a race, it's game on for you, and you have 3 in a row, man. You're cementing a stamp right now.
I always have been pushing for the championship. It was just unfortunate in some instances where I had to miss some races because of power outages. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna push hard a couple of races. Rest of the season basically.
Yeah, the gap is 6 now, man, and that's just the difference between 2 spots if you're in first and someone else is behind you. So we look forward to it because it seemed like Mikey was running away with it, but ultimately with his absence, we have spice in our 2023 ARC Championship. Again, congrats on the win, man. What a drive from you two. I appreciate what you gave me and Alex to call here. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, another
All right,
great race
Alex.
in the books tonight here from Singapore. Round 18 of 25 in the ARC Formula One 2023 season. Want to thank you for tuning in, of course, if you managed to catch any of this race, and make sure you catch some of the other ARC action going on the rest of this week and into next week. We've got, of course, the European Championship of the F1 Series happening tomorrow at Monaco, as well as the GT3 Masters Series going on for GT7 on Sunday night. And of course, we're heating up and getting right down to the thick of it there in the NASCAR playoffs for both the Cup Series and National Series. I believe we've got the National Series Tuesday night at Richmond and then the Cup Series Wednesday night at Texas. So make sure you catch some of the results from that if you can. I'm not sure if we'll have a stream up for it, but regardless, one way or the other, we want to thank you for tuning in and make sure you catch some of that other action, and we'll see you next time. Signing off.